snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
The Nassau Boys Soccer Playoffs continues this afternoon as we turn the page to Class A. And a little bit of an old school North Shore of Nassau County rivalry. It's Derby Day as the 4th seeded Quakers of Friends fly into Farmingdale State College to take on the top seeded Falcons of Locust Valley. Today's Nassau Class A semifinal, sponsored by Lifestyle Sports as well as Orlin and Cohen. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Rob Anderson. We flipped the script from 2 amazing semifinals in the AAA last night. The sun, as you can probably tell on our faces, shining here at Farmingdale State College, and we should be in for a terrific doubleheader here in Class A. We start with, as we said, a bit of a derby match, right, where 2.1 miles separate these two schools. They've not faced each other this year, but they do know each other very well.
They know each other very, very well. Both of them in the single A's, both at the top of the heap for the records-wise, both in first place. Friends Academy 9-2-1, and Locust Valley 9-0-1 on the season. So these are the two tops in their respective conferences. Friends Academy plays with the B schools as well, so that's how we got here today.
And we'll actually show you additionally how we got here today when we take a look at the bracket here in Class A. And you can see Locust Valley having an easier time, right, in their match. 6-1 victors over Valley Stream South. And then you see Friends. They've already had a North Shore kind of derby battle with literally North Shore, winning that one 2-1. So in terms of battle tested in the postseason, maybe check that box for Friends Academy here this afternoon.
And speaking with their coach, Edgar Rojas, he had said, Rojas, I'm saying the referee's name, Posada, he said that battle really meant a lot to them, and that today on this field, they are like, call us an underdog all you want. We got through North Shore. We beat them. We feel confident today.
Yeah, Posada said this has been a 4-year project with a lot of really talented freshmen coming in 4 years ago. They stayed within the program, and they're a big part of what these Quakers have done this year. Overall, their schedule or their record 10-4-1 on the year. We take a look at 2 of the players to watch for Friends Academy. On the offensive side, he's got a great first name, a great touch on the ball as well, and he'll be influential should Friends get this win. That's Dylan Leon. And defensively, out of that defensive or center back position, Aiden Jovis, the senior, has been excellent this year as well.
Yeah, there you go. Dylan Leon, again, you can look at the numbers there. 8 goals, 9 assists, 25 points on the season. He is a powerhouse up there. And as far as Jovis goes, he's got great vision on the field. He extends the field. He's got a good leg. He can get those offensive players up the field. So watch out for these two.
And what you love about Jovis, especially in a playoff game with high intensity and temperatures rising, he is as cool as they come as a center back in Nassau County. So now we flip the script over to Locust Valley, 12-0-2. Their head coach, Joe Lee, said what they've done in the regular season kind of caught him a little bit by surprise, right? Where he didn't know what to expect. He knew that he was in a loaded conference. 2 of the 4 teams that are here today coming from his conference. North Shore was the other, and they were, upset, air quotes, right, in that loss to Friends. So they are certainly regular season-wise very battle-tested.
Without a doubt. So like you said, North Shore, Lawrence, Plain Edge, Flora Park, they're playing all those teams. And, he might be surprised at where he is today. But talking to the other coaches, they're not. They said Locust Valley was going to be a team to watch, offensive juggernaut.
Overall, 12-0-2. Let's take a look at their two players that we're going to feature here today. And on the left, there's not too many better players in the attacking third than Stefano Leonardos. You see the numbers, outstanding on the season. Whenever you get past 50 points in a season, you're like, whoa, right? And then on the other side, a captain, a 2-year starter at the number 6, Oscar Salinas, helps really clean things up defensively for Locust Valley.
Yeah, only got 2 guys with 21 goals in all of Nassau County. However, not one with 21 and 10. Leonardo's sensational player and put up those numbers often and early. Oscar Salinas on the other side, like I said, 4 goals and 8 assists, so he's getting involved in the offense as well. That shows you how the scoring power is on the team. You're looking at 25 goals between a striker and a defender.
Now let's meet the starters for both of these teams. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the 4th-seeded Quakers of Friends. They will operate out of a 4-5-1 formation. In the back, you've got Zuniga, Manu, Jovis, and Price. Double pivot, so you have 2 6s, Hernandez and Almaderis Montes. In front of them, we just mentioned Leon. And your attacking 3, Martinez Sierra, Damasi, and Jack Steinberg. And in goal for Friends, at least for the first half, Rob, it'll be Jack Burns, right? He's a terrific shot blocker. And we'll see in the second half, Ryder Marcus kind of come in as a little bit of a Mariano Rivera to help close things out.
Certainly is an interesting situation they have there, but Burns is the guy that gets the start. 51 saves, 810 save percentage. You'll see some quality shots out there. Again, they are a forward-facing team, but he is stoic, gets off his line well, and can stop anything.
There's a good look at Edgar Posada, 7th season at the helm, a 1988 graduate of Great Neck North. He is the 12th grade assistant dean of students at Friends. So let's meet the starters now for Locust Valley. And the Falcons, they will be in a 4-3-3 formation. Your back 4 from left to right. It's Green, Herberg, Yim, and Canizales. Your number 6 is Oscar Salinas. We mentioned him before. You've kind of got 2 8s. It's not really a traditional 8 and 10, but both have attacking principles, certainly. Guarderas and Riquigliano. And then up front, we mentioned Leonardos, Dietrich, and Mahida. Mahida are your forward 3. In goal, we certainly suspect for the entirety of this match will be Oliver Dostalek, the junior, tall, strong. He makes all those big saves when the Falcons need him.
Yeah, take a look at him. He's a big body in there. When he comes out of the net, he makes it very, very small. Mobile, can go both ways, 769 save percentage. He's ready to go today.
And the head coach of Locust Valley in his 22nd season. It is Joe Lee, a 1996 graduate of Comstock, was a 4-year varsity player there, won a Long Island championship, had a great experience playing for Comstock during his day. We'll take a quick break. We'll have our keys to the game when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
And welcome back to sun-bathed Farmingdale State College. Dylan Butler alongside Rob Anderson, the first of two Nassau Class A semifinals. Locust Valley and Friends. Rob, we spoke with both head coaches, and here's what they identified as their keys to this game.
Yeah, you can take a look. Friends Academy, it's pretty simple. I think what everybody's been trying to do, shut down Lindaros, make sure he doesn't get any space or time. Play with energy, play with confidence. Part of that confidence is going to be shutting down Lindaros. Leonardo's. For Locust Valley, play our game. We are fine is the mentality. We will weather any type of storm. They know they can bang in goals. That's the plan for today. The Stolic is going to have to come up big today. The keeper is big, has to come up big. His coach is confident. So for the referees in the middle today, we got Jimmy Memos. The ARs today are Arlick Williams and Martin Target. And we affectionately call him Philly Gabagool. Phil Catalano is going to be the 4. Veteran team again, Dylan Butler.
So final huddles for both of these teams. Winner will take on either Lawrence or Floral Park. And that battle royal comes up after this one at around 2:30. Crazily enough, it's the third straight year in the Final Four those two teams meet here at Farmingdale State. 2 years ago, it was Lawrence pulling the upset over top-seeded Floral Park. Floral Park returned the favor in last year's county final, and they will meet at 2:30. But for now, it's all about Locust Valley and Friends Academy. Locust Valley, certainly led by Leonardos, has scored 53 goals on the season. That is a ridiculous amount, and they've only conceded 13. On the other side, Friends, yeah, they've put some goals in the net as well. 45 on the year for them, and 19 conceded. Great crowd here, still coming in. They had a spirited tailgate for Friends Academy with the tents and everything. I don't know if you got any bit of that before, or did you?
I saw a peek at it. I didn't get over there and.
Were they cooking anything up? Little eggs for breakfast?
It looked like might have been some
bagels and lox.
Bagels, lox, a little oatmeal and coffee, but I didn't get any handouts. I got a bagel from Chris Sweeney. That's good enough.
There's not much better than a Chris Sweeney bagel. Locust Valley, they'll be in that green kit, and Friends in the white. Getting set to go. Jimmy Memos checks with the clock operator, and we are set to go here. Two teams, too, Rob, that I think will play similar styles. They'll both want to keep it on the ground. They'll both want to get touches. So it should be a highly technical game as well. That's Martinez Sierra who is chasing that one down. Throw in for Locust Valley. Battle in the midfield. And a lot of these players, and again, they've not faced each other high school-wise this year, but they either play with or against each other a lot in the club circuit.
They certainly do, and there's a lot of players on that North Shore that are in the same clubs, and again, that's when they see Cold Spring Harbor, all these teams, very, very familiar with each other up there.
Well, one thing we're noticing in the first maybe 45 seconds is kind of how quickly both teams want to play, right? Where it is technical, they're looking to keep it on the ground, but everything is let's get forward immediately. Switch of the field, trying to come this way. The intended target was Demacia, but it was picked off and sent down by Locust Valley.
Watching early how they're trying to play Leonardos right now. They are giving him some space in the midfield. Everybody's got their eyes on him, but he's not being man-marked. So we'll see how that plays out.
Nice turn into space, but a heavy touch, and the ball sent back out toward midfield. Returning it is Jovis. Jovis and Murcha Manu really have a great combination, right? And you want that certainly in a center-back tandem. You can see the difference, at least in size, right? Where Manu, big, strong. Sometimes, though, a little bit, the temperature rises, right, for Manu, and that's why he's a great complement to Jovis, where he's more of that calming presence in the back.
And that's what you need. You want that dichotomy between athletes, especially on the back line. I feel like it's one of the most important things. A communicator, a calm them down, and a guy that's willing to go get it.
Well, so often you need that whole, it's not just a center back tandem. You need all four. If you're playing with four, you need all four guys to be on the same page.
Well, that's your communicator, right? That guy in the middle that moves everybody up, keeps everybody in line, and hopefully a goalkeeper that's vocal that can tell you what's going on as well.
That was Manu. So with all the physical attributes he has, but he also has a nice touch on the ball as well. Jovis plays it on ground to feet. Trying to turn there with Steinberg. Steinberg long and lanky. Was on the right wing this year when Demacia wasn't there. And Steinberg, listen, Leon gets a lot of the credit and a lot of the attention, but Steinberg no slouch either, right? Second in scoring for Friends Academy this year.
Attempted touch there by Demacia. Also paying attention to how Dylan Price, the defender wearing number 2 for Friends Academy, gets involved in the offense. He's been making a lot of runs. Not scared to get up there.
Maybe a slight difference that we're seeing between these two teams, tactically at least a little bit, is Locust Valley. They seem to just want to get the ball right away out of there. They're not playing out of the back. They're just booting it out of the back and looking to play, and now they're looking to combine up front. And I believe it was offside on Locust Valley.
It might have been Dietrich, not quite sure, but Leonardo's, making a nice pass there, just defended well by Friends.
You wonder if from that portion of Nassau County, Rob, if there wasn't just like a parade of cars all through Locust Valley between these two schools making their way here this morning.
A long and winding road,
yeah,
for sure,
exactly.
to get down to Farmingdale. Down to Farmingdale, even saying that is odd.
Free kick, clipped to the left side. Nice step. Interception, now an opportunity for something on the counter, but a heavy first touch by Mejia. However, Locust Valley, they do come away, and here's the guy they want the ball on his feet. Leonardos powers into the box, and he had Manu coming down like a Mack truck. Played in, the touch, offside. Flag was raised.
Wow, that took the steam out of it. You saw Orlin Williams get that flag up right away like a ball hawk, watching it, and that is a tough break there for Locust Valley, but also at the same time, Falcons got to feel like they can break in and get there. You take a look at it.
You see Mejia trying to cut it back to his right, and that's when the offside flag was raised. But Leonardo's there. He's in the space. Now the crowd gets excited. I thought it was great recovery speed by Manu, but also, again, he's got to keep his wits about him in that situation. Played it well. As now Friends looks to send it toward midfield.
Now, the main thing that they tell you, your outside defenders, is just keep your body between you and the net, between the player and the net, and did a very good job there.
Another attempted through ball and another great breakup. I think that was Owen Canizales, 2-year starter, right back. One of those midfield or converted midfielders playing in the back. Little clip of heels, I think, so we'll have a foul. Friends will put it down.
It's pretty tight officiating right now, right? A few more whistles than we've seen in the last couple games. Setting a tone early, making sure that they're playing everything clean, wide open.
Going to your point, too, from last night, that's fun, and just keep that consistent throughout, and then everyone knows how to navigate the match.
And just so you know, I had the conversation with a couple of officials because the Quake, I wasn't allowed by the tents. But they had said they heard us on air and they agreed. They said, listen, we appreciate you saying that, and it was consistent. No one's going to complain there. So as long as you see consistency, coaches are not, well, coaches will complain. It's what they're built to do, but less often.
Well, I have a bone to pick now because if you weren't allowed by that tent, Leonardos sheds a tackle in the box. Leonardos cuts it to his left, running out of real estate, and no problem there for Burns. And that's what you want from Friends, right? If you're defending Rob, you want to cut down his space and his angle, and that's certainly what they did there.
Look at that step. He gets that left foot and is looking far post. He also had Mejia driving down with him as well, and Mejia was right there for a rebound if there was one.
But, yeah, if you were not allowed at that Friends tent, I got a bone to pick to somebody. I mean, listen, you're wearing that Varsity Media shirt. That's an all-access pass.
Why can't we be friends? Well, I didn't make much of an effort, to be honest. I don't want to knock the tent. And once you walk past Phil Catalano, you're going to get caught talking for a while.
And the one thing that we do know is it is a very interactive broadcast, right? We were here last night. We were talking about players and their Spanish origins, and we were quickly told as soon as we got off the air what team that the boys from Herrick's support. So you're hearing from the officials, you're getting texts left and right. So
it's good stuff, even when I got it wrong on the guess for the team.
Manu plays to Steinberg. Good defending, nice touch. Can Friends get something here? But you're seeing Locust Valley right now. They're giving them no time on the ball. Everything is challenged right away.
Yeah, they're doing a really nice job technically in the back, and you just wait for these bursts. They've got guys up top that can move, and we've seen it twice, maybe a third time now.
And this will go out for a... Oh, it's a corner, actually. I thought it went off of the Locust Valley player. So our first corner of the game.
I would have guessed the same. It looked like you went in on a little bit of a slide just to advance the ball, and we'll get a look at it here. He does slide in and off the foot of the Friends Academy defender.
So Guarderas to take, the junior two-year starter. This will be an in-swinger. Maybe look for Mejia. He's looking for the ball now. Good job defensively by Friends. They look to get the ball out. Martinez Sierra. Little dance on the ball. And Memos delayed, looking to see if there was an advantage. Wasn't there. So Friends Academy, free kick. And it's interesting too, Rob. It's kind of maybe more of a philosophical question, right? Where, we heard from Joe Lee, and he said he thought maybe during the regular season, this one bounces in the box. Steinberg gets to it, goes off the side netting, and this will be a Friends corner. But you wonder, so they're maybe more battle-tested in the regular season, but then in the postseason, it was Friends that had a more difficult game, right? So kind of, is there an advantage there between either of them? I don't really think there is.
No, it's tough to say as far as that angle goes, but I can tell you both teams, both coaches, confident in where they are, feel like they belong, and are ready to move to the next level.
So Carlos Hernandez will take the corner. This, too, will be an in-swinger. Hernandez, great ball to the back post, headed away by Locust Valley and cleared by Mejia.
Yeah, that ball, a good header there as it rolled right on through. Nobody on the other side, giving Locust Valley a chance to collect it and set something up. And here's Leonardo saying, where are you guys?
Yeah, and if you're Friends, you're like, you know what? Possess the ball right here. We have no problem with this.
Yep.
Tries to pick out Mejia. Intercepted, sent back in by Carlos Hernandez. Hernandez, he's the 6. Might not be the tallest, but he's like a pit bull there, and that's a good example, right? As you see the interception. And now he's earned the foul as well.
Locust Valley players getting those legs in. They're reaching, kind of lunging on some of these attacks, and that's why they're getting the calls. Second trip in a row as you get another look at it here.
Yeah, apologies. That was Leon taken down.
That's a no-no.
How about a 5-year starter for Dylan Leon? Part of a terrific family tradition, right? Brother Jeremy coaches the JV. His sister Denitza also played for Friends.
And we talked about that throughout this entire playoff. It's a family affair. Coaches, players, seen a lot of it.
Second ball settled. And just could not get it to strike on goal. But still, Friends will possess. Dietrich sends it down. It's a battle for that loose ball. Good recovery, and that's where Jovis steps up. Sends it long. Now who wins the second ball in midfield? Steinberg, a little flick, a second one as well. And then a foul was called, a little bit of a hold against Friends.
Yeah, Liam Herbig knew it, the sophomore, put his hands up, and then they got the call right away. And it's going to be a free kick here for Locust Valley.
This is the first of 2 Nassau Class A semifinals. No score here. It's the 1 and 4 seeds. Locust Valley coming in as the 1. And they'll look to possess by the benches, far side. Nice footwork, first shot at goal. It's bounced in front. And Dostalek makes the save. Quick outlet as well. He immediately locates Leonardos. Sends one high in the air. This will force Burns off his line. And no problem for the opposing goalkeeper.
Love it, though. Good idea when you got guys like Dietrich and Leonardos that can definitely turn up the heat up there. It's a good idea. A little too heavy, though. Lucas Mejia also in the mix up top.
In that previous round, in the quarterfinals, Friends 2-1 overtime winners over North Shore. Martinez Sierra scored in overtime. Jack Steinberg had a goal and an assist. Dylan Leon with an assist as well. And then for Locust Valley in their 6-1 win over 8th-seeded Valley Stream South, Leonardos a hat trick in the second half. Lucas Mejia with a brace, had an assist as well.
Yeah, Valley Stream South team, we played them early in the season ourselves, and they're tough. They battle pretty hard.
And also they're one of those teams too, right? And we've seen a few of them that ended long playoff droughts or years without playoffs, and they were back in the mix.
Feisty head coach, and they definitely reflect it. They play really, really tough there in Valley Stream South.
It's Peter Green with the throw, 2-year starter. He's one of 2 on this Locust Valley team that has that big throw. Headed clear, not out quite yet. And now it's sent out to Steinberg. Shields the ball, looks for help. And that one a little bit heavy, sent out by Herbig.
One of the things I'm impressed with Friends Academy, too, is why they might relinquish a little bit of size. You've seen Carlos Hernandez, Almendarez. They take steps and win 50-50s. They time it where they just kind of wait behind the Locust Valley player and then step, win the 50-50. That could be a game changer.
Nice stuff in tight spaces there by Hernandez. Canizales with some great last-ditch defending there for Locust Valley. And what you see, too, from Locust Valley, you go up and down their roster, 2-year starter, 2-year starter, 2-year starter, like a lot of guys back from last year's team that, you know, they went 7-6-3. They lost on PKs to Mineola in the quarterfinals. And they came back this year with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and looking to make a deeper run, especially when you have this guy on the ball, Leonardos. Plays it on the ground, maybe looking for a little 1-2. It's to this side now. It's Mejia. And Posada, the Friends coach, said, listen, it's not just about Leonardos. We've also got to be aware of Mejia as well.
Which they were not on that last play. He was wide open. His team took a little time to get him the ball, but he had space.
And Mejia's on quite a heater throughout this season. 16 goals on the year, 5 assists, but how about this, Rob? Has scored in every game this year for Locust Valley.
I'll tell you, that's the kind of conversation, too, that you have at the tables when it comes to awards time. You know, they want to see that they're doing it against everybody, and tip your hat to Mejia. That's incredible.
Leonardos checks the rear view. And now Locust Valley looking to play a little bit. Leonardos, quick touch. Riquigliano. Guarderas dispossessed. Now a little bit frenetic as the offside flag was raised. At the midway point of the first half, no score.
Second time they've been called offside in this game so far, and you get it. They like to jump, and it's part of their speed. You'll trade a couple for the one that gets through.
Leonardos with his left chips it forward. And you can see how he and Mejia they're so in sync. Good intercept in the midfield by Hernandez.
But again, you see Aiden Jovis just timing a time step to win the 50-50s. If they keep doing that, it's going to be hard to get something going upfield for Locust Valley.
Friends looks to switch to field. They find their guy, Dylan Leon. Cuts it to his left, clips it into the box, and the offside flag is raised on this side.
That was a tremendous look right there. An early jump, but a great pass there by Dylan Leon, serving it in, trying to get that through ball.
And you can see right at the end of the play there with the offside flag being raised. Salinas, that's a dangerous ball. And Burns able to corral. And it's in moments like this, the Quakers we're very thankful we have turf because it's a true bounce, and that one doesn't just hang up there in no man's land. Steinberg looking to split defenders. Was unable to, but a little bit of a push by Salinas. Free kick for Friends.
Friends Academy on the restart. The Locust Valley foul.
All right, they'll take that, getting a little handsy in there, and referee memos on top of it.
Ball sent into the box. No problem for Dostalek. Mentioned before, a vocal leader out of the back, which is what you want out of your goalkeeper, the junior. 40 saves on the year, 12 goals against. Demacia. Leon. Advantage was played. Guarderas got himself free, and he's earned the throw. And that's where Green steps in.
Well, Green's got a good one. He can lengthen the field, maybe look down the line. Yep.
Bypasses Leonardos, looking for Mejia. And the ball sent all the way down. Look at this foot race now. But it will just go out of bounds.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you are charting on the Locust Valley side, you got to say we got to win 50-50s. That's another one broken up. Intention was good. You had two guys down the line, But again, a timed step. It's not a size mismatch. It's timing.
Another foul was called. Free kick for Locust Valley. What kind of hangs up? Not much of a wind here this afternoon. Good challenge for that one. Sent down the line for a Locust Valley throw.
No, sir. If I told you that this was the same temperature that the 6 o'clock game started at, both 57, would you believe me?
No.
No. Same exact temperature, but that sun making a blazing difference here at noon instead of those 6 o'clock starts.
Good touch by Steinberg. Long and lanky. Blows a tire as he tries to take on Skylar Yim. I think in that challenge, Yim lost a shin guard. And here's Leon. Pivots, an errant pass. Leonardo splits defenders. Nice slide tackle challenge by Manu. Good sportsmanship by Manu as well. Picks up Leonardo's. Nice cut to the left. Served in front. Header! Just wide.
James Demacia had a good run there and just short. But my goodness, again, a nice service. They've done a nice job. As you take another look here, that ball's put perfectly in play and just out of the reach of Demacia as he follows through. But that's two really pretty services that almost finished.
And what you want from Demacia there, right, when they roll that tape back, friends, head it back towards where the ball came from, and that's going inside in the far post.
You're not kidding. Maybe could lay out like Superman there and try to get it. That was close.
Yeah, it was. Demacia started at right back last year. He's one of that group. When Posada talks about the 4-year build, he's part of that core who came in as 9th graders. And that one sent up. Good talk there by Manu. Realized he wasn't going to get it. Said to Burns, come off your line and grab it. He did just that.
A few times now, Burns getting off that line and meeting the ball. And again, you said having the turf here today, a good clean bounce. He's able to play those balls.
Nice step by Herbig. Fastest kid on this Locust Valley team, Liam Herbig, a 2-year starter as a sophomore. So 15 minutes remaining in this scoreless first half. Not too many opportunities for either. A couple of close calls.
I think you've had more, good ideas out of Friends Academy that didn't come to fruition. And Burns, has 3 saves so far, so a little bit more on frame there for Locust Valley. But only, according to my tally, got 4 shots on net in total, 3 for Locust Valley.
Battle on that far side. And one thing that we certainly know early on from Memos is not, if you get hands up, if you pull, if you push, that will be called immediately.
Yeah, that certainly has been established, and so far, any type of free kick has been in the middle of the field, and you'll take that all day.
Manu drives it on the ground. Good win. And there's a foul. This is a dangerous situation.
Right on cue.
Leon will look to take it. When he asks for his 10, we'll see how far. The defenders are lined up right at that semicircle, which is 24 yards or 22 yards from goal. So this, you would figure, about a 32-yard attempt if it is one on frame. You've got Leon and Hernandez. One's a righty, one's a lefty. Leon sends it over the net.
Goal kick, Locust Valley.
Well, good idea. Put it where he wanted to get it, just a little bit too high, and We talked about this yesterday, too. There seems to sometimes be, and I don't know if it's the depth of the fields when you're looking behind things, but they do sail a lot of them over the net for some reason here at Farmingdale. Maybe not seeing uprights behind the net changes the view.
You know, I hadn't thought about that in terms of soccer, but it's certainly the case, right, when we're here for basketball playoffs and the backdrop, not what you're used to. There's stands in the gym here at Farmingdale State where the Nassau County's postseason is played, and that does take some getting used to.
And I'm just thinking, a lot of these fields have field goal posts right over. You have that yellow bar that's kind of almost like your second indicator of where you can and can't go.
I like it. I like your thought process there.
I appreciate it. Just they do fly over the net quite a bit, so.
Another foul called right by the benches.
After the foul, Locust Valley to restart.
And Locust Valley with a free kick. Hear a lot of communicating on the fields. Maybe something trying to play an offside trap, perhaps. No, Manu does go deep because they play it short. Ball goes to that corner. Battle for it, won by Friends. Trying to play it on the ground, and another one that Canizales picks off. He's been really good, that junior right back. A lot of the attack early on, Rob, was going his way and has picked off a lot for Locust Valley in this first half.
Yeah, both teams right now just struggling to get inside that scoring area. You know, you see Steinberg up top for Friends Academy just kind of waiting, but there's 4 defenders back there. Another foul now.
And it quickly taken, trying to find Leonardos. There he is. Terrific defending. And as you said, right, you want to just separate the attacking player from the ball, and that's exactly what was done there. And then a foul called against Leonardos.
Got some feisty fans on the whistle there. I like the quick kick idea on that last free kick. Just kind of chipped it instead of putting a little mustard on it. If that ball got to Leonardos a little quicker, might have had a different outcome.
And we have to give credit on that play. That was Dylan Price, the senior right back, was on JV a year ago. Demacia was in that position, but he moved up to right wing. So now that was a spot that was open, right? And Dylan Price earned that spot. Really versatile as well, can play the 6. He's one of those no questions asked, just want to win guys, and did a terrific job there separating Leonardos from the ball. So free kick now for Friends as we approach the 10-minute mark, or 10 minutes remaining
There is 10 minutes left
in the first half. Here is Price, plays at the feet to Leon. Leon spins. He's got Price overlapping if he wants him. Stays on the ball, Leon. They're going to attack in these tight spaces. Clipped over the top, looking for Leon. He's doubled, gets it out quick. Ball sent into the box. That was Almaderis Montez who played it in.
All this pressure started out with a free kick that they diversified their portfolio and elected to keep it on the ground. Couldn't get the touch and turn, but played back out and pinned deep since. So I like the idea of having that free kick on the ground and just trying to give a different look, create a little more chaos instead of floating the thing on net or over it. Probably the most offensive possession time either team has had just now. Might have been 30, 40 seconds, but
Manu heads but not cleared, trying to go over the top for Leonardos. That was good recovery because they were numbers on this side of the fields. And now will Locust Valley look to possess? Green attacks the space, finds Leonardos. Price quickly trying to get to his way. Leonardos, left-footed service to the far post. A little bit heavy. Battle for the loose ball. And Manu will not lose many of those 50-50 challenges in the air.
No, in general, they haven't. And Leonardo's getting a lot of space over there to do something. Got that cross through, but they are letting him play a little and just kind of honing in on him once he touches the ball as opposed to marking him up 1v1. That might have to do with a speed mismatch, play space instead of playing right on him.
Friends Academy kick on the way.
Locust Valley looking or hoping for their second county championship in program history. You go back to 2021. They beat Cold Spring Harbor to win the Class B title. And Friends Academy, Rob, kind of almost like low key, but like unbelievable history, right, for Friends. 10 Nassau titles, 4 Long Island championships, 3 state titles, all when it was the Class C classification.
It'll be a Locust Valley restart.
And out of that Class C, because of the private school designation there, that the fact they are a private school, they play up a conference. You saw that with the charter schools as well. Evergreen is a B and Academy is a triple.
Well, they had a 9-year run as Class C champions that went from 2004 to 12. And actually, then it was 10 titles in 11 years. They won it in 02 as well. Hard challenge, but a good one. And that's your pit bull in the midfield, Hernandez.
Yeah, that was a clinic right there. Any young soccer players watching, that's how you take a slide tackle in. With authority and getting all ball.
Yeah, you see it there in the bottom left of your screen.
Gorgeous.
Ball out over that far sideline by the benches. And it's funny because we see it, I think, especially when we get here to Farmingdale State and you get to the Final Four and, you know, teams that have scored a lot of goals, and we saw that last night. Get that in a moment. Steinberg, low shot. No problem for Dostalek, but we're seeing teams that score a bunch. You know, now it's tight margins and 1-goal differences. We saw 2 1-0s last night.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And that was another nice look and idea for Friends Academy, broken up by Peter Green. But you're right, Dylan. I mean, the field is very different pressure. Everything is stepped up a notch.
Here's Steinberg, looks to serve. Cleared away by Herbrig. Not out, though. Left-footed shot, nice block, still alive. Thought maybe offside there, not given. Low shot, and Dostalek makes the save.
He's got 3 now, so Friends Academy starting to put him on frame. Something you love about the neutral site. It levels the playing field completely. You're in a different location. It's not the home field. Different pressure, different lights.
Manu wins the header, and Friends are looking to get some possession here. Steinberg plays the feet. Curled edge of the box, chested down. Dostalek's got to be dangerous. It's a dangerous opportunity, and it will go out for a Friends corner.
That's as close to getting caught in between as a keeper as you get. Good job by the defender. Take another look at it here. A good touch on the shoulder. And then trying to figure out if the defender was going to go or if Dostalek was going to go, and got caught. But a defender in the net.
Ball served in and right through everybody. Didn't find Steinberg. He's saying that he was pulled in the box. That's not a foul that was going to be given. So free kick, Locust Valley. Play to ground to Green. Errant pass in the midfield. Friends looking to push it quickly. Steinberg in the box. Steinberg, what a sliding challenge. An interception by Herbig. Almadaris Montez, that too was blocked. Herbig laying out for his team.
Here's a look right now. Friends Academy is getting some things going. A beautiful look, wide open space, just trying to get those extra touches, Steinberg. And then the follow-through to continue play, and now a corner kick.
And this is what you like as a coach. I know that. You see Leon there, too, so he's showing at least maybe to take something short. But look at all the defenders. Right now, open spaces. In the box, it's loose. Cleared but not out. Left-footed shot was blocked. That was Price with the attempt. Chip into the box, knocked away. And now it's cleared out toward midfield.
Slight hesitations making the difference in this game. They're a swing and a miss. Steinberg just moving the ball from one foot to another. If they can get these shots off clean, they're going to be trouble.
Ball served in, Steinberg on it. Makes a turn, edge of the 18. Steinberg, save by Dostalek.
And just like that, he's got 4 now. 3 in the last 3 minutes.
Leonardos. Shouts of handball. It won't matter because you'll get a foul anyway. And Locust Valley with a free kick inside the final 2 minutes. Salinas plays it quickly. Angled it. Here's Leonardos. Leonardos in the box. Great job by Manu. Corner, though, for the Falcons. Watch the big man come in.
And he's saying that it should have been a goal kick. Made an argument that Manu not happy about it. But regardless, it's going to be now Locust Valley with the corner kick.
Canizales to take. Trying to get it to the near post. And again, Manu right there. He wins so many balls in the air. We'd love to see him as that option on an attacking corner kick. Look out. Edge of the box, ball served. And this will be a goal kick. As we're inside the final 35 seconds of a scoreless first half. Ball to midfield. Here's Steinberg. He's been the most dangerous player in the attacking third for Friends. But Locust Valley will get this ball back and most likely not even get a chance to put it back into the play as players from both teams will leave the field here at halftime of a scoreless Nassau Class A semifinal. We said both of these teams scored a lot of goals in the regular season and even in the early portions of the postseason. But Dostalek is like, I'm not having any of that in the first half.
No, and you can see some of these saves he made. There's a bouncer, nice and clean, looks innocuous, but then he's got to range to his right and make a nice save. Tells his team, hey, settle down. There it is. Another one going to his right. Also had a ball deep that he had to figure out, but he's getting some action now.
Halftime, Nassau Class A semifinal, scoreless between Friends and Locust Valley. More when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athletes' team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Levitz, and I'm the Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Orlin and Cohen Orthopedics and the Head of Sports Medicine at Northwell Health. With the playoffs coming around, this is the prime time of year for significant shoulder injuries. And the most common injury that we see in soccer players is subluxation of the shoulders. They take a hit or they fall on their shoulder and their shoulder slides out of the socket. And for most of us, we don't think that's a big deal because it just feels like a little nothing when it happens. You feel good afterwards and you're right back out there. But often when that happens, you can tear your labrum. And those are the ligaments that stabilize the shoulder. And with repetitive subluxations or dislocations or repetitive trauma to the shoulder, it can lead to surgery. So it's very important to address this when it happens and make sure you're not going right back out there before understanding the injury, because it can feel okay, obviously, until you get hit there again, until it falls again, and then you start doing permanent damage. It's very rare an initial injury does permanent damage. It's only when you continue to play through it and neglect it that the permanent damage occurs, and that almost always leads to surgical intervention to repair the ligaments. The best way to diagnose it or know is your history itself. Most athletes know when their shoulder slid and they just don't know what that was. They don't know what happened or what it was, but that is a strong situation to make sure you bring to the attention of your athletic trainer and definitely get checked out by an orthopedic surgeon. Unlike when I was a kid, we have MRIs readily available, and the best way to determine if you can play the next day or right away is to get an MRI right away. It's very easy for a doctor to say, take 4 weeks off and let's see how you do and get you back out there. The problem is that's half the season in high school. So we treat our high school athletes like professional athletes and try to get an MRI within 24 to 48 hours of their injury. So if it's nothing significant, they can get into therapy and be back playing by the weekend. We take pride in getting our athletes back as soon as it's possible and when it's safe as possible. And the best way to do that is with early intervention, early examination by a physician, athletic training team, and getting an MRI as soon as possible to ascertain the exact diagnosis. Unfortunately, with repetitive dislocations, it does require surgery. Fortunately, most of the time athletes can finish the year out, but we don't want this to become a lifelong problem and highly recommend surgery after the seasons. But in today's technology, it's all done through the camera, and I'd say 98% of our patients are back at the same level they were before in a few short months back to playing. The only thing that might be a little bit difficult would be a throw-in in the first couple of months, but generally soccer as a whole is well tolerated and a quick recovery. The only problem is when we neglect these injuries, small, simple injuries that could have been handled with a good rehab program and physical therapy turn into surgical problems and permanent damage to the ligaments and bones that now require more extensive surgeries. And that's what we want to do with early intervention, is avoid those issues.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Parents, coaches, and players, ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Back here at Farmingdale State College, halftime, Nassau Class A semis, no score between Friends and Locust Valley. We'll welcome you back in to the booth. Dylan Butler, Rob Anderson. And Rob, we said a lot of the play between the 18s, not a lot of maybe grade A scoring chances. What were your takeaways from the first half?
As far as Friends Academy goes, they started getting themselves in the correct positions more towards the end of the second half. They're just missing, hesitating a little bit, balls put in the right place. As a coach, what do you say? Good idea, good idea. Certainly some good ideas, but not finishing the job. On the other end, you're getting your star open. He's getting some space, but he's not getting the ball. A lot of movement in the middle, losing a lot of 50-50 balls. That's going to make a difference in the game. So I hope that Coach Jolie, I'm sure he is, telling them, let's get a little more aggressive, win these balls, and get it to the guys up top.
So the horn sounds, and we do have that change in goalkeeper as we expected for Friends Academy. So they'll again split goalkeepers. And for Friends, replacing Jack Burns, and there you see wearing the 00, it's Ryder Marcus, junior of the two. Maybe more athletic, has a great understanding of the field, and he's your closer, right? He's the guy who finishes games, and you can see, 18 saves, no goals against, so often does the job. And listen, as a head coach, right, how does that maybe change things? You're used to seeing sort of how one keeper plays in the first half, right? Oh, he's good off his line, or, oh, we can get him in the air, and now you have the curveball thrown in.
It is certainly curveball and an interesting look. We've seen goalkeepers swap up when it comes to like penalty kicks and things like that. But this is very unconventional, a la hockey-esque almost. It's a different look. You got to get used to him. He's a big target. He's a big guy. So he's not going to give you as much space in there. But if I'm Locust Valley, I said, hey, we couldn't solve the first guy. Here we get a shot at this one, even though he is kind of Mariano.
And Posada says, which is funny, right? Because we're saying Posada. We just mentioned Mariano. But Posada said, listen, sometimes that's a tricky thing. Because obviously, listen, every guy, they're your competitors. You want to play. You want to play 80 minutes. And there's only one of those guys on the field at the time, right? So it's a coveted position. But he said both of those guys have stepped up. They're friends. They have embraced this partnership. They train with each other, and it has worked, certainly, for friends.
It has to work because that is a tough situation. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen it before as a split 50. Have you?
I've seen it in the early portions of a year when you're trying to figure out who your one is, right? And even at the quarterback position in high school football, maybe you're like, you end camp and you're like, I don't know, it's a 1 and 1A. We'll give each guy reps. But at some point in the season, you go to the one guy, right? And there's so many advantages of having the one keeper because now you're back four. They know the voice and they know the cadence and they know what to expect. But again, credit to Friends Academy. They've made this kind of unconventional situation work well for them.
And you've seen teams in professional sports that do things that kind of change the way coaches see things. Maybe this is a conversation if they get deep. I mean, if you can go win a state title with two keepers, might be the new trend.
Nice touch to avoid Steinberg, who is coming in. Manu misses that one, but Marcus off his line to corral. Around 2:30, we'll have the second of these Class A semifinals. Get to that moment more in a moment as Martinez Sierra makes his way into the box, loses his touch, but there is Leon. Nice safety valve to have, right? As Friends wins the corner.
Well, you alluded to it. We've got a day. I mean, for two guys that aren't getting much sleep, I'm excited about both of these games today. And the second one, South Shore battle. State champs again coming into play.
Corner back post, served back in. I like the decision and just the execution a little bit off.
So in the Bees, Dylan, we advance one state champ. We're going to see the next state champ on deck, and then I believe the AA state champs are playing on Monday. And we have that right, Monday's Garden City?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So all the Nassau County state champions are still in the mix to move on. Carl Place has done their job in the semis, and now Floral Park later.
I think I'm going to need help from either you or Chris Sweeney. Get to that in a moment. Leonardo fires over the bar. But we're here so many days in a row that one of you guys is going to have to stop me from coming here on Wednesday. There will be no match.
We'll send a text. I think next year, though, we petition to just go straight through Wednesday and maybe skip Halloween for once.
Yeah, that's
for those of us
what my wife and daughter are petitioning for as well.
Yeah, ditto. If I come dressed as a zombie, it's for the half hour that I had with my family.
I just figured it's because you hadn't slept, and that your natural state has turned into zombie after all these hours.
I'm going to be well equipped that day.
Here's Leon. A little partnership here with Martinez Sierra, the junior, who's terrific on the ball, showing off some of those skills. Plays it backwards. Manu attacks some space and thinking more like a center forward.
Goal kick, Locust.
Rolls it wide of Dostalek's cage.
There was one year I was up here in the Wizard of Oz get-up. My daughter was Dorothy. Was that last? That was last year. I can't remember the last year. I was dressed as the wizard because my daughter was Dorothy. So you get that window to trick or treat. You know, with the little one, come in costume. Why not? As long as I have the varsity media shirt on, I'm good.
Yeah, my daughter is going as Addison from the appropriately enough from the Zombies movie.
Yeah. We met them. We went to the show.
We did too. We didn't see you there
at the UBS.
UBS.
Yeah, it was great. That's funny. You say Addison. I know.
You and I have gone. You and I have gone to a lot of concerts, not together, but like similar artists and moving around. Like, so like the degrees of separation aren't too much, right? Correct me if I'm wrong though. That was to me like the the crowd-wise, the loudest concert I've ever been to.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you have daughters. They're out there singing every single word, and when they brought out the 2 stars that only came to, that was incredible.
Good idea. Just chipped wide of that far post. Like it there from Martinez Sierra.
And just so you know, that's the theme it's from Zombies, Descendants. That's why I'm going to be a zombie.
All right.
So, are you going to do the garb then? Are we both here?
No,
Zombies?
absolutely not.
No? All right. Get Sweeney as one of the Descendants. He'd look good with a red wig.
Or he could be, what is it? Mal's dad, right?
Yeah.
He can get the big hair going. Ball on the turf out to midfield. Here is Martinez Sierra. We've seen a little bit more of him right now in an attacking sense. Maybe that was part of that conversation with Posada and his coaching staff at halftime.
Yeah, you're always in an interesting situation in a 0-0 game. You don't want to give up too much, but at the same time, you want to start to generate, and it's a delicate balance between the two.
Ball sent out. That would have been wild, though, if I had just like been walking around the concourse and just saw you at the Descendant Zombies concert.
I wasn't dressed up. I had a shirt.
Well, I'm not saying that you were dressed up. I would just be like, oh my goodness, there's Rob Anderson. Go figure.
We've had a few, though, right? A few of those concerts. I'm still waiting to see Sweeney at a hardcore show.
Ball played on the turf. Good clearance, but not out. Nice interception. Friends of the two teams in the first, 8 minutes. Get to that in a moment as Martinez Sierra, an important and necessary slide tackle. And how many times have we called out Liam Herbig in this game? Another one absolutely desperate.
Yeah, take a look at this here. And again, both teams a clinic. All ball follows through. Gorgeous shot there and a great replay. What a wonderful play.
And low shot. Dostalik makes another save. What I was about to say before Martinez Sierra came in was it looks like, at least early goings of this second half, Friends more of the two teams, the one asking more questions right now and probing for that first goal.
Yeah, that's kind of how they finished, and here we go again.
Dostalek, dangerous off his line.
Their service into the box has been fantastic. They just got to connect on the other end.
And there's your midfield trio. There's Martinez Sierra now, the left wing. Takes an extra touch, serves it in, hit Steinberg! Just over the bar.
And he has been in the mix all day right there. The little extra effort to try to get it. This time, no hesitation. Here's a look. Once the ball gets into him, no hesitation there, boom.
Well, it couldn't have fallen more perfectly to him because it took a deflection off the defender and it went right to his right foot.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing for him there is he got under it instead of maybe striking it low and putting it on frame.
So good look by Martinez Sierra to get that ball to him. But Dylan, there was a couple of hesitations by him in that first half. That time, 0. And again, fortuitous bounce going to that foot.
He is Sebastian Jose. He goes by SJ as well.
Now, it's not the way that they typically play, but we know that Locust Valley, this Falcon team is very capable of a counterattack if Friends gets a little too happy, too excited down there and pins themselves in. There's some heat up top for this Locust Valley offense.
Well, certainly, again, you can, you could locate either Leonardos or Mejia, and then the one will play off the other. But right now, it's Martinez Sierra. looking like the most dangerous player in the second half. Look at this battle. And it's Martinez Sierra called for the foul as he and Canizales got tangled up. And it was Martinez Sierra with a little bit of a takedown around the shoulder, Rob, as we see it here, right about there.
And a little extra holding on at the end and a little get off my arm conversation by referee memos afterwards. Just, we get it. Keep the temperature down.
And again, this is a derby. That's what you get out of these games, right? In North London, it's Tottenham and Arsenal, and around the North Shore of Nassau County is these two teams. Separated again, these two schools, by 2 miles up in Locust Valley. Now, unlike, Arsenal and Tottenham, who play twice a year in the regular season, these two teams, because they're in different conferences, have not met this year.
So I'm going to flip the script and ask you, do you think that's playing a role in this? We had Coach Donahue say they're not really playing the games that they typically play.
I'll get to that in a minute, as here's Leonardos. Takes a step. Look how quickly they converge. 2 defenders on Leonardos, wants him to dispossess or get rid of the ball. He does that. But it's played on the turf to this near side. Ball sent in, headed away, but not out. Hard crunching tackle, and a foul was given. Salinas was taken down. What a dangerous, they took it quick. So Locust Valley wastes a opportunity there.
Especially down that low, starting quick somewhere in the middle of the field. That could have been a really nice chance.
Here comes Leon. Herbig again. He has been outstanding. Just a sophomore.
Tough as nails, my goodness.
Almendares Montez sends it to the other side of the field. But to your question is, maybe it took a half of kind of feeling each other out to get that natural animosity going, the juices, right, to play more towards the way that you're used to playing.
Shows a ton of respect for one another. But you got to find your game in yourself, and I guarantee you that's what both coaches were talking about. That was one of the keys to the game for Locust Valley, right? Play our game. Good ball there again.
Leon to Steinberg. You got to be careful if you're the defender. A little bit too early to shield for Peter Green.
Well, it ain't a crime if you don't get caught, so back the other way.
And this will stay in. Battle, some jerseys being pulled, and an advantage being called. Yeah, the temperature rising here at Farmingdale State College.
As is the action. We're watching two teams that are feeling the gravity of the situation and that two goose eggs staring down at them.
Salinas on the grounds, picked off by Manu. Trying to locate Martinez Sierra. And here's Leon now. Great recovery, good defending by Riquigliano.
Sorry, I was just saying, like that step by Canizales too. He wanted to take charge, didn't get there, but definitely being more assertive when it comes to those 50-50 challenges and the ball's on the ground.
Manu plays it on the ground to Martinez Sierra. And that, an ambitious effort by Almendares Montez. Sends it over. Almendares Montez, senior, part of that core that came in as a 9th grader. He went and played club ball this year, said, I want to come back and play with my boys. And Posada said that he was one of those missing pieces that the Quakers didn't have last year. A guy who anchors the midfield, a natural number 6 who covers a lot of ground, but he could also, as we see, get involved in the attacking third as Leon's shot was blocked. This is the first of 2 Nassau Class A semifinals. The winner will take on either Floral Park or Lawrence, who will have round 3 of their annual battle deep in the postseason after this one. Dietrich, did he earn the corner? He did. And this is to your point, right, where so much has gone for Friends Academy, but now you have to be locked in defensive with your friends, because now it's a dangerous set piece for Locust Valley as Canizales will take this one.
And like you said, the big man, Manu, in the middle defensively. He's always trying to make his presence felt. See, maybe they go short, try to avoid him. They have options.
Ball served in right to Manu's head.
Well, there goes that idea. It's tough, man. You got a guy like him. I think you got to get a little more creative, maybe keep it outside the box, play it a little shorter. But he's a big boy back there.
Ball goes out of touch for a throw. The battle there, Salinas. And now you could open up some space. Herbig. And Manu will just shepherd this one out, as we'll have a goal kick.
Tell you too, you want to gauge the energy of the game. I'm watching both coaches. I know Edgar and Joe. Joe's 22 years in the game. Edgar 7. Both of them have not moved. They kind of say the arms crossed, just watching pensively. 2 guys that are cool as a cucumber.
It's the last 3 years for Locust Valley. Last year, a loss in the quarterfinals. The year before, a loss in the semis. The year before, a loss in the final. So now they're looking to take that next step as a program and then win their first county championship since 2021.
Yeah, Coach Lee would love nothing more. Again, 22 years in this league and a big part of the organization, runs the Nassau County Soccer website. Guy you go to when you need help with everything.
Hard challenge, but by Martinez Sierra. Good to see Canizales back up. We mentioned so many 2-year starters, and so these are guys who have been part of that. Nice ball over the top for Leonardos. He wins the foot race. He's got to clip it backwards, though. And Locust Valley will maintain possession. It'll back heel. Another foot race for it. And it will go out for a goal kick.
That's another perfect defensive play there. That's how you shield a ball against a speedy guy. Force him the last touch.
I see Friends their last 3 years. A first-round defeat back in 2022. Last year, or 23, didn't qualify for the postseason, and then last year losing in the A quarterfinals. That loss in 2022 was to Manhasset, 2-0 first rounds. Manu, as we said, good with his feet. Right, you see what he can do in the air is evident, right? Dominant. But you don't always get that from a bigger player, right, with the soft feet. Push in the back, and Friends Academy will possess.
Yeah, some calls are easier than other, and Dylan Leon getting his hands Right on the hips, easy call, and it's going to be correction. I mean, going the other way. Leon's the one that got us pushed.
Ball goes out of touch for a Friends throw. Quakers come into this one 10-4-1 overall, the number 4 seed. Already better than last year, 2 wins better than last year when they were 8-4-1, losing to Lawrence 3-2 in the quarterfinals.
You want to talk about battle tested in their regular season? I mean, they did play all those Bs that are in the semifinals. You know, they played Cold Spring Harbor, Call Place, Oyster Bay. So battling it out with some of the smaller schools. And now here in the A's semifinals.
Manu kept alive, and there's Ryder Marcus. Hasn't had a lot to do since entering the game at halftime, or at the start of the second half.
Outside of the first 20 minutes, the Friends Academy goalkeepers relatively untested. Burns had to make some saves early, and then they kind of flipped the script. Dostalik late, and I think he's got 1 save in the second half, if I'm right. Could be 2.
Leon. Tell you what, for Dylan Leon, good size on him. He's hard to get the ball off of. Oh, what a turn into space, playing to feet to Steinberg. Edge of the 18. Steinberg double teamed. At that point, you can only try to win a corner, which is what he does.
And they've done very well at that, turning it on the defender, trying to force the corner kick. Steinberg is right there. I mean, for the guy who's had the most opportunities in the game on either side, it's him.
So Carlos Hernandez over to take this corner. For Friends, where's Manu?
I'm just looking. I'm looking. Is he back there?
Well, you can't miss him.
Yeah.
Served in, headed, still loose. Steinberg looking for it, cleared high in the air. It will take a bounce in the midfield, a second bounce, a third bounce, and now here comes Friends Academy on the counter. It's 2v4 at the moment, trying to play through Salinas, but it got caught up in his feet. And now here's Leon coming the other way. Look at the charge up the field by Dylan Leon. He's got numbers on either side of him. Plays it to the right side. Chip service. Dostalek bobbles momentarily and pulls it down.
Good attack. A lot of guys went very central on that. Maybe open it up a little bit more, but Friends is really bringing on the assault.
Yeah, it's a wide field here at Farmingdale, right? So you want to use the width as much as you can, especially when you're attacking with numbers.
It looked like they were going to open up, and then all of a sudden a few pinching in there.
Here comes Manu. Then a cut back. Ball sent back out. You wonder, and Friends hasn't had a lot of adversity this year, right? A 10-4-1, but how much would you love maybe in a situation if you're down a goal or you need something late, you get Manu up there like a Christian Benteke type, right?
That's a good comp. I mean, and honestly, I agree with you. Maybe start getting them some looks on corner kicks.
Yes, definitely. Here's Leon looking to navigate the middle of the park. Low center of gravity. Great turn to switch the field. And tough one played into the box, trying to find Steinberg's feet.
I tell you, it's rather almost unconventional that he's not up there on the corner kicks, much like switching the goalkeepers. You see a lot of big center backs getting involved in free kicks all the time. Somebody else covers space, especially when the numbers are up.
But I do think I think that also speaks probably to the so much respect given to Leonardos and their ability to hit you on the counter.
But you do wonder if there's a guy up top with that kind of speed that maybe you could sacrifice for the size. But I agree with you. That was my first thought. But at the 0-0, maybe get him in there.
I like it. I like what you're cooking up there.
It's it's a luxury. I mean, when you have a big guy like that on my team this year, Liam Whitehouse, 6'4" center back. I mean, we throw him in everything.
Nice ball, good first touch. Then a little bit heavy on that second for Martinez. Sierra loses the ball. And here comes Locust Valley. Dietrich. That's really good, solid defending, and that's, again, that cool, calm, collected that we expect to see from Jovis.
Certainly is. A good job by Jovis there, but an equally good run by Dietrich. He was getting down there, and Jovis just cut off the angle.
Yeah, Jovis just plays with ease, right? Like it's funny. A lot of times when you see guys like that, you're like, is he even trying back there? Like, can he bring some intensity? He has it, but it's just a matter of just being so effortless, as there is a bit of an injury on the field, which stopped the clock at 13:59 remaining in regulation time. Mentioned we coming up. There it is, Lawrence and Floral Park, round number 3. First two were split between those squads who know each other very well. That'll be 2:30, and then we reset tomorrow. From a broadcast standpoint, we are fortunate. We only have one match tomorrow, not the double header, so it'll be Long Beach Garden City at 7. And then on Tuesday, it'll be Southside and Calhoun.
Got some matchups coming up, folks. Tune in. They are absolutely all fantastic games. What the semifinals are offering this year is just beyond our expectations.
Yeah, we had 2 classics last night. Well, going back even, you had a terrific overtime battle with Carl Place and Oyster Bay. Ryan Leary with the winner in that one. And then on last night, the opener was unbelievable. Get to that as a moment, as Jovis, this is what he could do as well. He could push forward, and that's solid defending on the other side by Guarderas. But we had Syosset and Oceanside and Xavier Pohl scoring the overtime winner. And then it looked for a while like maybe Herrick's and Port were heading there as well, right? And then Seth Khan had other ideas, scoring the winner for the Cinderella story of these Nassau County playoffs as the Highlanders make their way to the county final.
And the heroes in all 3 games very clear. You know, when you have double overtime goals, and then you break a 0-0 tie, that shows you how tight these games are. And again, not surprised with 0. Well,
and here's Leonardos now. Can he settle it? Leonardos, not a problem really for Marcus, and it's because it was a high bouncing ball in the box. So it was hard for Leonardos. He had to step on his defender, but he couldn't settle that ball down, as we take a look at it again here.
Yeah, and you can see he has a decision, right? He can't take it any deeper, so he puts it on net, looking far post, and a good job by Marcus to make sure it didn't get through or in the net.
And that was almost on cue, as there's now a foul. Dangerous set-piece opportunity for Locust Valley, because you were talking about those established stars stepping up, right? Last night, at least, Poles and Khan were our 2 players before the game that we highlighted as players to watch offensively, right? And they both delivered in big spots. The same with Leary on Friday night. You expect him to come up in a big spot. For Locust Valley, that player, or players, you've got 2, certainly Leonardos, but also Mejia. And one of those guys step up here as Guarderas is over the ball. Serves it back post. And it is over. Their crowd, and that's that optical illusion that you were talking about.
Yeah, it's again.
You hear them. They saw the net, Rob, and we take another look.
The parents
went
are freaking
over
out.
the net. But you saw the ripple of the netting behind, and that's what the crowd was reacting to. But It really didn't miss by much, did it?
No, it didn't. You see that white ball just kind of cruise over the white post, and then it hits the net behind, and the Locust Valley fans kind of stunned with confusion more than anything. But they figured out when the goalie ran around to pick it up that it was not in the net. We've been fooled a few times.
A dangerous one. Dostlik off his line, slides at it, doesn't get it. There's an open net. Clipped towards the back post and wide. Steinberg, head in the air, not believing that he missed that opportunity.
And there it is. He pulls the ball to his left and just toes it, gets under it.
And there was a shot by Martinez Sierra as we came back from that replay. That was wide. But if there's a moment, and that's probably the big reason why Lee said in his 3 keys, or one of his keys, Dostlik has to be solid. He has been making the saves, but there's been just that second time now, a little bit of a hesitation, and nearly ended up in the only goal of this game.
Yep, you called it. Second time, got caught a little bit in between and got away with one, and now we've got 70 minutes of soccer here and still no score, but by far the better opportunities, Friends Academy.
And Steinberg's a guy, doesn't miss those very often.
No, you feel like he's just itching, and he is just a little bit off. I mean, not position-wise, he's in the right place. He's playing space well. He's getting touches well. Just missing the mark as far as the net's concerned.
This ball sent out of play. It'll be a Friends throw.
Boy, I feel, we're repeating ourselves quite a bit, but you know that Locust Valley has this really high-powered attack, guys that could bust it open at any given second. They're not really building. They're kind of just moving and striking. We're a little more building on Friends, but Friends just missing.
Yeah, Locust Valley more pleased or content with bypassing lines. And for Friends, as you said, more of that kind of patient build-out. And a little push in the back. Free kick for Friends, and it does bear repeating. In the quarterfinals, Friends went to overtime to beat North Shore. It was Martinez Sierra scoring the winner in that one. Ryder Marcus came in, second half, made a couple of saves. Steinberg had a goal and an assist. Battle. Memos is all over it. He's right there. So he saw that push from behind. And Locust Valley with a free kick. This one not able to be saved. Throw in for Locust Valley. Canizales will have another. Martinez Sierra sends it back out to midfield. Herbig is there. He has been outstanding all afternoon for Locust Valley.
The other thing I like that Locust Valley did, we see a lot of guys in the playoffs with these big throws. Everybody's setting up these big throws. But having that little short dink that Canizales had allowed it to go down the line. You don't see many guys going down the line once we're down there because so many athletes have big throw-ins. Down the line, knock back out, better field position. So I appreciate seeing that small ball throwing down the line.
That was one where Manu was called for the handball off the bounce. And Locust Valley, they tried again to go quick, and I think they were fortunate there that Memos pulled it back because the ball never stopped moving, so it has to stop before you can restart it. So a dangerous opportunity here for Locust Valley. Clipped into the box. The intended target was Guarderas. Didn't get to him, and here's a counter opportunity with Martinez Sierra. Taking on 4 defenders. Still on it. Martinez Sierra on off his line. Dostlik. And he picks it up.
Looking to be a hero again right there, all alone. Nobody checking in behind him. 1v4 is tough, though.
Ball on the carpet. A chance? No. Offside flag was raised immediately.
Well, that opportunity looked good. That's probably why offsides. But, I mean, you thought that was going to be it right there. Good through ball. The intended target receives it. Then the offside's called.
Ball over the top. And you know what, Friends? I don't mind that idea because, again, you've seen Dostalik kind of be between decisions a few times. So maybe you go long here. You go more Route 1 direct and have one of your speedy guys up top. Make him think a little bit more. Settling it there, Almaderis Montez. Can Steinberg chase this one? It's he and Green battling. Steinberg wins it, takes on a couple of defenders, but Green comes away. Checks the rear view. That attempted clearance was blocked. Look at that job by Steinberg. He never stopped working.
And this is probably the third or fourth time that he pulled that off.
Memos will stop the clock with an injured Locust Valley player on the field ahead of this corner. And look who's jumping up in the mix now.
You're watching what I'm watching. There you go. They're listening to you, Dylan Butler. Somebody's listening. Shooting text messages over there. This and a little flip-flop. There you go.
Yeah, Manu right now at right around the penalty spot. You can see him there, the big man, 27. There he is. Will he maybe be the hero here? As Peter Green gets attended to by the Locust Valley trainer. 4:34 remaining in regulation.
So the clock is stopped, but that doesn't necessarily mean the player needs to come off the field. I mean, the trainer is out there, so you're going to assume it. But again, one of the best rules that they've incorporated here, and our officials have done a great job with it, is that when there's injuries, stop the clock regardless, just to make sure the play can continue. A lot of cramps in overtime.
And there you see some view from the boys from Floral Park taking in some of the action.
You can also see how bright the sun is as they try to shield their eyes to watch the action. But they want to get on that field. I'll tell you, that's a tenacious team.
All right, so here we go. Corner kick and swinger. Manu, will he be the guy? Backs up to the back post. They play it short. Ball served in, and actually the service was from over the end line. So a wasted opportunity there for Friends.
Interesting decision to play it short when you got the big man there. You think?
Well, I think the idea was the attention was going to go to him on if you were playing it
second.
Yeah, so maybe get him on the second one.
Well, the big man has reset. He's back at home in the center of the defensive team.
Steinberg, that one deflects out for a Friends throw-in. We mentioned the overtime win for Friends. Well, Locust Valley, 6-1 win over Valley Stream South, so not as challenging a quarterfinal as Friends had.
No, fairly decisive. Well, not fairly. A decisive victory there.
Throw in far side. Takes a bounce, shouts for handball, not given. Here's Martinez Sierra. Look the way that he opened up his hips. Sends it far post and wide. In the second half, at least, it looks like the decision again was to have him more on the ball where he excels. 7 goals, 3 assists on the year. And that's with some limited time because of some club soccer commitments. Inside of the final 3 minutes of regulation. Manu clips it forward. Second ball won by Locust Valley. They'll play it quick. Good step by Jovis. Manu. Right, though, to Guarderas. He goes down. And now a chance to counter. Guarderas still down. Memos checks on him as Martinez Sierra now. Here's Leon. Great dispossessed, but it falls right to Steinberg! And Steinberg has the goal! 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. And Jack Steinberg scores the goal seemingly, Rob, out of nothing.
Out of nothing, indeed. Steiny in the right place. A good through ball. You know if somebody's going to get there. The touch right through the wickets.
And I'm going to contest, we'll show that again, but it actually came off of an attempted clearance. It was a ball won defensively. It looked like from Dietrich. We'll show it again. Watch 11 in green with the slide tackle on Leon right there, but it falls right to Steinberg.
There you go. Good eyes, Dylan Butler, and then Steinberg again through the 5-hole. And now a massive sense of urgency here for Locust Valley with 1:40 remaining in the game.
That's why I said out of nothing, because it was a ball won, but that's that soccer IQ, right? That poacher's mentality as the clock will stop with 1:32 left as there's an injured Friends Academy player, at least with a cramp, it would appear.
Good eyes, Dylan. I mean, that was unassisted now, just right place, right time. And we said it, if there's a guy that's going to be in the right place, it's going to be Jack Steinberg. You're right. There it is. Push through. Steinberg recognizing.
Yeah, splits defenders,
wow.
Beats Dostalik to that ball.
You talk about his work rate. There it is, coming through. But
and soccer IQ, because he realized right away to come there. Dangerous one here, clipped ahead. There is the man again, Manu. The only thing he didn't do is wave the Mutombo finger. Over the back, offside flag is raised.
yeah, saw it there. There's a lot of conversation about pulling jerseys and touching. A lot of physicality down there on and off the ball, but going both ways. So now 2 scoring opportunities by Locust Valley blown offside.
Jack Steinberg, his 8th goal of the year. Will it be the match winner?
I'll see how Friends handles this, but if they can get the ball, they're going to make a move.
Well, this is one of those where it's like, hey, no, I'm not the guy who throws it in. I'm going to give it to you. No, he's not the guy. It's the other guy.
And there it is. They are passing it off. Don't be surprised if it gets stopped, though. Yep, there you go. They're on top. I got it again. The officials this year, I think, have made a concerted effort with the substitutions, throw-ins, everything to make sure that this game's played fair.
And now you want to get the ball right there. If you are Friends Academy, right to that corner flag, the deepest point from your own goal. 30 seconds remaining. And that one just served back across the line. 22 seconds. As Friends Academy, the number 4 seed, looking to book their spot into the county championship game. Final 7 seconds. Throw in. Cleared away. To midfield. A hefty challenge, and that is it. Friends Academy. They advance to the Nassau Class A final with a 1-0 win over rival Locust Valley.
Well, another hero, right? Maybe we heard the song, We Don't Need Another Hero, but we just can't get enough of him here in this playoff. And there he is, Steiny. Jack Steinberg finishing that ball. Again, a high IQ soccer motor that never stops. right place, right time. Not surprised he's the guy that ends this game.
And it's the combination for Steinberg, right? It's the soccer IQ, but also those long legs, right? And you can make the run, and he's fast, and he's tenacious. So as soon as he saw that ball just squirt loose, he pounced. Split defenders, beat Dostuck to the ball, and now Friends Academy marching on to the Class A final. For Locust Valley, a devastating defeat. They're only of this season, and when you get to this point of the year and your only defeat is the one that ends your season, it stings even more.
Certainly does, and there was a few opportunities for them. You know, the highest goal scorer in the county. Good job by Friends to shut him down. Tip your hat. Great season to Joe Lee and his squad, the Falcons. But it's going to be Friends Academy. The Quakers move on after quite a showing today, and no quit in their attitude.
And you lose a guy like Leonardos as a 2-year captain and a 3-year starter, but you go up and down there starting 11. So many of these guys back again in next year, right? You think of Salinas as a junior, Guarderas is a junior, even Mejia up top is a junior. So a lot of returning parts for Locust Valley who can use this moment as that added motivation now as you head into the offseason to look to get back here and maybe take another step forward for the Falcons. So Locust Valley, their season ends at 12-1-2. The number 1 seed again knocked off in the postseason. We saw the number 1 and the number 2 seeds lose last night in Class AAA, and the 1 is out here in Nassau A. The Friends Quakers, though, they come marching on. Big reason why. It is Jack Steinberg. Here it is again, that moment, right? Poacher's mentality. Sees the ball, wins the ball, scores the ball. And Jack Steinberg and Friends Academy will celebrate tonight and get ready as there's the final moments for Friends and the celebration with their fans on the other side. 11-4-1 now, and the number 4 seed, they are in the county final. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, for Tony DeMasso, Kevin Catalanano, bringing you all the great moving images. For Rob Anderson, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at 2:30 for the second Class A semifinal on the Varsity Media Sports Network.